We're right here in Lake Oswego, and today we're gonna go over two different homes in the $1.3 million range so you can see what you get right here in Lake Oswego.
Before we get into the homes, we thought we'd just show you a little bit of the town and talk about what it's like to live in the town, and then you get a sense of what the houses here are like.
Let's go. My name's Aaron Cullen, and this is my wife, Brianna Cullen, and we own a real estate company right here in Portland, Oregon. And today I'm really excited for this video because we're gonna compare two different homes for you so you get a better sense of what your money gets you if you wanna buy a home in that $1.3 million range right here in Lake Oswego. Well, hey, that might seem like a lot to you, and to a lot of people, yes, it is. In Lake Oswego, the prices have gone up over the last few years, so the average home price here is just over $1 million. So I really want to highlight a couple of different homes for you that I feel like are really good value for the money and a good size if you're wanting to move here. Especially if you have a family, we're going to show you some homes that have 4 to 5 bedrooms and are big enough size to accommodate.
We get a lot of people reaching out saying how much they love these Lake Oswego videos specifically. It makes us so happy. I think what comes across is that we genuinely love it here, and so it makes it really easy for us to talk about what it's like to live here. I think we were actually just talking with a neighbor on a walk yesterday, and he and his wife retired to Lake Oswego from the Bay Area. And so as much as we talk about how family friendly it is here and how great it is for families with kids, we have the #1 school district in the state. We have a lot of just family friendly quality of life. I'm also always reminded that it's a great place to live for any stage of life.
Yeah, no, it really is. I mean, we've loved living here. We've been here for over 4 years now. And every time I drive back into this community, I drive all around Portland. I mean, there are so many great neighborhoods in Portland, so don't get me wrong, this isn't the only place to live, but I love living here personally, and there's so many great things about it. So that's what we just want to share that with you guys too.
So one of the great things about Lake Oswego, Aaron just mentioned, Portland has a lot of great neighborhoods altogether. And so that is one of the great things about living here, is that it's a small town. Lake Oswego is its own small town, its own school district, police department, city. It's a city, and it has this great downtown core where it really feels like you have a town center. And it's also within this bigger city with all the amenities of Portland, a great airport, medical care, universities, art scene, great food. And so you're really getting those very small town amenities in Lake Oswego where you go out and about, you run into people you have that really safe quality of life, but you also have everything that Portland has to offer.
And let's just show you guys a couple of the local little restaurants and shops right here that are some of our favorites in downtown.
Tomorrow will be the farmers market right here in Millennium Park Plaza, right behind us. So Saturday mornings in the summer, this is the place to be.
Yep.
And then right here off the plaza are a few of the local restaurants that are very popular. There's a French bakery, St. Honore,
right there.
Great meeting spot down here. And then we've got our Blue Star Donuts now for my Californians.
Yes.
And we've got our Salt and Straw ice cream down the street. You can always smell waffle cones when you're down here.
The real ice cream, it's not non-fat, it's real fat ice cream. That's where you're gonna wanna go. And then let's not forget coffee. Our local favorite coffee shop, Morse Coffee, which is just right here down at the end of this block. There's also Holy Taco, which we haven't been there in a while. We have 2 little kids, so we don't get out a ton. It's a great Mexican place, especially even for lunch. They got a lot of outdoor seating right there.
This is really downtown. We've got a library down here. We've got all sorts of little specialty shops, Breakside Brewing, tasting room, and then, anything that a small local town has.
And this juice bar right here behind me, which I've had one juice, Cure Superfoods, And this juice bar right here behind me, Cure Superfoods, I've had one juice from there, but we usually make a green juice in the morning for breakfast, so I don't go there too often.
A couple of other important things to know about living here. This is the Northwest, and we have the weather that is iconic to the Northwest. So rainy, darker, cooler winter and spring, and then this beautiful late spring that you're seeing here. It's going to be
right now
75 and sunny today. There's like nowhere more beautiful to me in the summertime
and
than the
right
Pacific
now,
Northwest.
it's like 60 degrees right now at like almost 11 in the morning. So it really does start out really cool. Your mornings are really cool here, and then you don't get to the heat of the day until 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock.
Our neighborhood pool just opened for the summer season, and it doesn't open all year until 1 p.m. because the mornings are like cold.
Yeah.
But just to say, you will have 4 seasons living here, which has been great for the most part for us. It really creates a lot of festivity around the holiday season. You get the changing of the leaves in the fall. Now everything's blooming, and it really marks time to have those 4 seasons.
No, absolutely. And you can see the traffic here. This is like the main intersection right here for Lake Oswego. So this is a Friday afternoon traffic.
One other thing that I think is really special to point out is everything that you have within driving distance. So day trips or weekends at the Oregon coast, which is so beautiful. A lot of places to do things like berry picking and apple picking and just get out into nature to the rivers and the lakes for stand-up paddleboarding, boating, water sports, mountain biking, hiking, all of that outdoor, and the just aesthetic beauty of living here.
It really is gorgeous and magical. And let's not forget to touch on the location. We're only 9 miles south of the heart of downtown Portland, which is like a 15-minute drive from right where we are here in downtown Lake Oswego. Living here is you get that small town feel. All your shopping is close in, anything you're gonna need. We got like 2 or 3 Whole Foods. And if you wanna go for that nightlife to Portland, those fancier restaurant options, all that's within a 15-minute drive. Okay, let's go see some houses. Right now, we're in the first one we're gonna check out. It's a 4-bed, 3.5 bath, just under 3,200 square feet. And the lot size is 1/10 of an acre. Now let's get first impressions.
So it's a very clean, fresh, contemporary new build. You have open concept living here on the main floor. Although this main floor feels like kind of small, I think one of the things it has going for it is the views from this house. We're on a little bit of a hillside, are really beautiful. You have some longer views out to some of the surrounding hills, a lot of trees surrounding the property. So that makes it feel a little bigger in this level, but it just feels very clean, very livable. The finishes feel nice, and we wanted to do this video to just really give you a sense. I think, buyers are so savvy now. One of the great American pastimes is like scrolling Redfin or Zillow, right? And you know what's out there. But there's nothing like being in a house or getting the insider scoop on like what's the neighborhood like. And so that's really one of the reasons why we wanted to do this. And I think also why, if you are looking at Lake Oswego, it's a great idea to reach out. You can, scroll all the houses on Redfin, which is great and a lot of fun and gives you a sense of what's out there, but it doesn't always give you a sense of what might be available off market, or just that insider perspective on like what's unique about this particular house.
That's why it's really important to reach out. If you guys are thinking about making a trip up here, reach out. My information's right down there in the description area, and I'd love to go over with you guys kind of what is the best fit for you, what kind of lifestyle you're looking for, because one of the things we're hoping that comes through in this video is to highlight a little bit of the differences. We're comparing 2 different homes today around the same price point that'll give you a different kind of lifestyle. This is a monogram build, and this gives you a good idea of what to expect from a new build here in Lake Oswego. We're in the neighborhood of Cullen, and what they did with this lot, this would have been an older home that they would have torn down, and a double lot that then they were able to subdivide and build 2 houses. So there's another new house that had already sold next to us over here to the left, and this home is still for sale.
Yeah, so some other first impressions. I really like the neighborhood and the way this house is situated. It's a corner lot. Again, it's on a hillside, so you get some really neat views. This is a really quiet street, but it's super convenient location. So it's walkable to one of our great local grocery stores, New Seasons. It's walkable down into town. It's walkable to a great elementary school. And it's just, I saw some people riding their bikes by on the street. It kind of has that vacation quality that some of the neighborhoods in Lake Oswego have. A lot of Lake Oswego has that feeling. You know, you can watch some of our other Lake Oswego living specific videos for more of that. In this, we wanted to profile a little more of the housing, but this has a good feeling right here in this neighborhood.
Yeah, I really like this little pocket, and Cullen really is kind of more of a mixed neighborhood as far as housing. You get some lower priced homes mixed in with higher priced new construction homes. It's kind of being coined the second edition, which first edition is right downtown Lake Oswego, and that's the most expensive neighborhood because it's like 100% walkability. It's very flat in that area. And here we're really close, like you're saying, you're really close to walk to the shops, to like Old Town. We're more on that south side. You've got a lot of parks, walking distance. I mean, half a block down the street, you can hop on a little trail system there that takes you around over to Cullen Elementary School. There's Free Ponds Park, which I really like and I've highlighted in some other videos. That's a great little local park to right here. Not to mention all the park systems all around Lake Oswego.
Yeah, you could walk from this neighborhood down to George Rogers Park, which is actually on the Willamette River. Really beautiful spot that has a little beach and trails.
That's one of our favorite parks to access and use, do barbecues in the summer.
Stand-up paddle boarding.
Yeah, they got a great little muddy, sandy beach. So let's talk a little bit more about details. I'm gonna show you guys just a little bit more of this house so you can kind of get a sense of what you get. Here we are in the kitchen with quartz countertops.
A wolf range, so high-end finishing in here.
You know, these new builds, most of them are gonna have these big open kitchen concepts that you see here. The only thing I would note is even though this house is 3,200 square feet, they pack a lot in. It's 3 stories. The main living space here is a lot smaller. So I personally probably wouldn't use it as a TV room. Down on the bottom level, which is like a daylight basement, you get a lot of those here in Portland. I'd probably use that as my like TV room, living room. It has a lot bigger living room down there.
It's a really comfortable space in that downstairs room. And I think some people might use it as like a mother-in-law quarters or something like that. But if you don't need it for that space, I think it would be a great like family lounge area. Whereas this area, like Aaron said, is pretty small, and I don't know, it doesn't have that same like cozy feeling.
Yeah, right. It feels good staged as it is like right now without a TV.
Yeah, exactly. But then, you know, upstairs, it's a pretty typical home in terms of the bedrooms. The bathrooms are really nice. It feels like a very standard floor plan. There's nothing like too crazy or weird about it. But one of the nice things in these newer builds is you've got those wider hallways, the higher ceilings. It gives it more of a spacious feeling. I love the high ceilings in here. Hallways feel really wide and open, and again, it's very contemporary. So there's no trim, there's no molding on the window casings, and it's a very contemporary feeling.
Yeah, I love this little nook here with all the 3 windows surrounding it here for the dining room. With the deck up here with the sliding doors, this is a really nice feature. And the views are nice up here. You can see across the lake to the other side from up here.
And this house actually does have a little sunny, grassy backyard, which that might seem like a given, but here in Lake Oswego, because it's so hilly and there are so many forests and trees, that actually is harder to come by, a sunny, grassy backyard.
And for a new build, one of the things that especially in this price point, it is going to be a smaller lot. So that's just something to be aware of. But the fact that you do have some green space back there and a usable grass, usable yard.
And then a little deck as well.
Yeah, it is really nice. So overall, I really like this house.
I think it feels very comfortable. I like the location a lot. I love the trees and the views around. I think this is like a really comfortable family home.
You get a lot of mixed light with partial sun, partial shade. I really like that. And there's so many windows in this house.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point because it's a great combination of all these trees and the long views with a lot of natural light for Portland, which is harder to come by, again, in Lake Oswego because we're so forested. Some houses have very little natural light, but this house with this contemporary style and some of the more open, like on the stairway, there's a huge window. You get a lot of light through there, and then you get a lot of these like peekaboo windows that are letting in slants of light.
This is a really nice entryway. It's open all the way up here to the second level.
So all in all, I think this is this is a great house. Again, for a lot of people, 1.5 million might seem really expensive. I think it's all relative. It all depends on where you're coming from. A lot of other cities on the West Coast are going to be more expensive than that, and the value here I think would be really strong. And then for other people, this is going to be like completely out of range, and we'll do other videos at other price points.
In Lake Oswego, they're doing a new small community, a street of about 10 to 12 homes called Oswego Reserve, and those start at about $3.5 million. So just to give you a little reference, that's on the high end. And of course, we have properties here that go up to 5 to 10 to $15 million in the extreme side. But prices have gone up here in the last couple of years. It's definitely become a more desirable place to live because we have the #1 school district in the state, and it's such low crime. It's a beautiful city. We have our own mayor, police department, fire department, city hall. All those things make Lake Oswego very, very desirable.
Yeah, so you're not just buying the house, it's about buying into the community and the quality of life.
That's right. I think this is a really good value. If this kind of fits your lifestyle and what you're looking for, this can be a good fit.
I think too, it's so important to understand the housing stock here, which is so variable, right? It's not a lot of subdivisions with very similar homes. All the homes in Lake Oswego, for the most part, are very different builders, different styles. And so most of them need updating, I would say, a lot of the older homes. There isn't as much move-in ready housing. Right. And if that's something that's really important to you, like you don't want to have to do anything, you just want to move in, you want it to be clean, you want everything working, you don't want to have to worry about maintenance for a while, something like this is a really good value.
Yeah, if you're looking for move-in ready, it's modern, it's clean, it's brand new, there's not going to be any deferred maintenance for you to deal with, then something like this is a great option for you. And if you have more money in your budget, you can get a bigger house, a bigger lot for a new build. And those are gonna be more in the low $2 million range. Now, this next house, we're gonna go boogie over to and view in a little bit different neighborhood in the Palisades. And this next house, example of just what you're talking about, it's a little bit older house, built in the 90s, but it's a bigger lot, a third of an acre, that probably needs some cosmetic updating depending on your tastes. So let's go check it out. Hey guys, we're here at the next listing. This home is a 4-bed, 3.5 bath, 3,500 square feet on a third of an acre lot, priced just under $1.4 million. This is a great example of a lot of the housing stock that you can expect to see in Lake Oswego. It was built in 1990, so you still have a lot of the 90s feel. It's way more traditional. I'll throw up some of the pictures here so you guys can see.
Yeah, this is a very traditional home. It's a great size. You can see we're in this like park-like forested setting with big mature trees, mature landscaping. We're right off of Childs Road, which is just a beautiful drive through rolling farmland. You're really on the south edge of Lake Oswego here, and you have access to trails, farmland, Lusher Farm, everything off of the Stafford corridor, which is just such a gorgeous place to be. And this is in the Westridge Elementary School District, which is one of the most sought after elementary schools. It's so funny to say that because all the schools here are great.
Yeah, they are amazing.
But yeah, you can see this house is a lot more traditional and a little more outdated, obviously, than the brand new build that we went through earlier. So it's a very different style. And I think that this one, most people are probably going to want to do some cosmetic updating to make this their own. And that's true, like we mentioned, of a lot of the homes here in Lake Oswego.
This is really a great example of probably what most of the home stock is like here in Lake Oswego. If you want something of this size, 4-bed, 3-bath, over 3,000 square feet, under 4,000 square feet, most of these homes will have been built in the 80s and 90s. So this is a perfect example of just kind of where we are at the price point right now in the summer of 2023.
Right, a new home or a more contemporary home of this size is going to be much closer to $2 million.
Yeah, there's one that just went on the market today off of Westview Drive for $2.3 million. And it's basically very comparable to this, a little bit smaller lot, but it's $2.3 million for a brand new build.
So I think, it's just fun to kind of compare. The house that we showed you before is a little over $150,000 more than this home, and everything is brand new. And so if that contemporary style is what you like, that might be a great choice. Whereas something like this, it's more traditional, it's a little more outdated, but it's also at a slightly lower price point. So if you're interested in making some of those updates yourself and you want to choose those updates, you could do something similar in this home. You could put some money into it and be at a similar price point. I know a lot of people want that move-in ready house, but there are those of us who would rather kind of put our own touch on what the updates look like.
Yeah, and this house is absolutely move-in ready, but it just has some more outdated cosmetics. And that really is depending on your style and what you like. Let's take a little walk and we'll talk a little bit more about this house so you can get a sense for this block and what this area is like. So you can also see a little bit of the difference here between these two neighborhoods.
Yeah, so this house is on a cul-de-sac right on the corner. No one is driving up this street unless they live on this cul-de-sac.
Yeah. That's
just the nature of this neighborhood, which can be nice. We actually live on a corner lot on a cul-de-sac ourselves.
The neighbor's doing his own lawn.
We're gonna be like huffing and puffing a little bit because this is coming up against the side of a hill.
You can see a lot of the homes here in the streets around here are very hilly. So here's the home right here in front of us, 3-car garage. It's a really gorgeous home. I like the style of this, having the brick facade in the front.
The homes on this little road are really beautiful, mostly brick front homes, really well taken care of, nice landscaping. You can tell that this is a pride of ownership street.
You're gonna get that with most of the homes here, especially when you're at that $1.2, $1.3 million and above. So a lot of these homes are gonna be all similar size, if not, yep.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, hey, what's up? Here's one of the local dads in the dads group.
And that's the small town feel we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's when you're filming a video and a friend opens their window and says, hey, is that Aaron?
Hey, he was on a phone call, but hey, how are you? Give me a call. Come to the dads group.
Oh, these flowers in this driveway are gorgeous. Look at this driveway, honey.
No, it's gorgeous. And you can see here we are at the top of the cul-de-sac here. Let me spin it around. Look at the views up here from these second stories at the top here. Probably have some amazing views. So you really get a sense of this like park-like setting. I'm Aaron Cullen, and this is Brandon Cullen. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Our information's right down there in the description area. We have a local real estate company right here in Lake Oswego, so feel free to reach out for any questions about moving here.